A man's virtue flows from three separate sources: desire, emotion, and intelligence. Knowledge is a wise man's treasure, but beware of false doctrines, for they are even more dangerous than ignorance. Forget all you know, or think you know. Abandon the hunger for power and enforce decrees. Look inward, where the deepest rivers flow. There you'll find the currents of eternity. And as always, my friends, welcome to my mania. Well, hello there. I thought I wasn't going to see you today. I got on to get online and YouTube was down. I didn't know what was going on. But apparently they fixed it. Here I am. So I'm interested to know how many conservative channels have disappeared in that little blackout. I'd be interested to see that number. I think the real reason it went down is because breaking news is Georgia's considering throwing out the vote because of all of the improprieties. That's what I heard anyway. I don't know if there's any truth behind that. You can find out for yourself by watching Newsmax or, something on the internet. I wouldn't look at any of the broadcast networks because they're not very good and they lie a lot. So I didn't think I'd see you either. Well, I'm here. It's amazing. I was panicking there for a minute because everything I tried, all my videos were down. I couldn't log on. I thought maybe YouTube got nuked or something. Hey, April, what's happening, dear? We made it. We're live. Another step in the right direction on the battlefield. What a lovely day it's been. Yeah, YouTube was down for a little while. I don't know what they were doing, but they seem to have fixed it, from what I can tell. But we're here, and we're happy, so that's all that really matters. Man, the news has been awash with information the past couple of days. It's been so rainy. Yeah, it's been rainy here all day, too. All day long it's been raining. I don't know if it's raining now, but it was raining 10 minutes ago. And just pissy, huh? Well, that's not a good thing to have. Maybe you ought to step out in the rain and wash that off. Yeah, things are looking up for old PT46. I think there's a good chance he's going to pull through this thing. Whew. It's an exciting election. It's even more exciting than Bush v. Gore. And nobody named Chad. Imagine that. How are you guys doing? Has your day been as good as mine has? I've been just sitting around drinking coffee all day. Hadn't really done anything. Watched a bunch of videos. Kept up with the news. A little hoarse today, which sucks because I got a show coming up in 2 days and I can't be hoarse. But my voice was golden Saturday. I don't know what got into me, but I was doing good. And then it just a couple of days and now it's hoarse. So maybe it'll go away. Maybe it's just because of the rain. You had 2 grandbabies, both of them today? Man, that must have been painful. Uh-oh, dum. I've been in bed all day recovering from the babies. Didn't even get dressed. I don't blame you. I wouldn't either if I didn't have to. I got a fly trying to drink my coffee. That's not going to work. Can't have that fly. That's my coffee. I will kill you. Let me see. Did that make it better? I'm forever tweaking, trying to get this background to look right. It does not want to do right for nothing. April says, I know they make a hell of a mess. April took him yesterday and I went straight to bed. Well, that's a good place to be. I ain't got no problem with that. I was in bed most of the day. They wear me out, but I miss them already. I know that feeling. Poof, I made it better. Aw, got a balloon and a smiley face. Or is that a heart that's bleeding? Can't really tell. Stab you in the heart. It'll be better in a few minutes. Shh. Shh. Just go peacefully into the light. In other news, they have been trying their level best on TV to usher in Biden as the president. And I think it's hilarious because every single time they say President-elect Biden, they're lying to you because it hasn't been called yet. They're still counting votes. But every station, from CNN to Fox News, even Fox News is doing it. I don't know what to think about that. Don't even have a conservative channel to watch anymore. The only one left, the only holdout is Tucker Carlson, and he has a leash, albeit longer than everyone else's, but he still has a leash. So I'm having to check out this new, it's called Newsmax. I ain't never heard of it before this week, but apparently they're doing quite well, and it's very conservative, so we'll see. You got Newsmax. What's the other one? One something, One Earth, One World, One News Network. I don't know what it is. You got the Next News Network, which is kind of too far right. But really, if you want to get your news, you need to watch people like Tim Pool, Jimmy Dore, Joe Rogan, those guys who mostly lean left, but at least they'll tell you the truth. You just have to watch out for the left bias, but they'll tell you up front that they're left, and they're not hiding anything, so I appreciate that. And there's right-wing ones, too, like Adam Cast, and if you're brave enough, Owen Benjamin. You have to listen to a lot of Jew talk, though, if you're going to listen to that guy. What's Smithsonian? Smithsonian is a museum in Washington. Why? Yeah, Fox is the worst. It's getting really bad. Since this election started, they have been out and out lying to the public. That's the first time I've ever seen them do that. They've always had a right-wing bent, but they've never out and out lied that I'm aware of on purpose, you know, knowing better. But they have been this week. And I think the reason that's happening is because the Murdochs don't own it no more. Roger Ailes is out, and now the Murdoch's children own it, and they're left-wing liberals. And I think they're hedging their bets because if Biden's going to be in, they don't want to be excluded from the table. So they're going to play towards Biden because they think he's going to win. But I don't think he's going to win. I'm holding out hope to the very end. I said it the first day he got on the elevator in 2016, the escalator, to come down. I said it then. That's my new president right there. He's going to win. And I have held out hope ever since. And everything he's ever done, every bad thing they've ever thrown at him, I've always said this ain't going to do him in. He's going to keep right on going. And he has. And I'm going to keep on saying it. Okay. The Smithsonian is an institute. It's a organization. And they own museums, among other things. And if you go to, they're like the National Museum, the big, there's like 5 or 6 really big museums in Washington, D.C., and they're all owned by the Smithsonian Institute. And I think they were funded by Carnegie or somebody like that, Rockefellers or somebody. But that's what that is. And the Smithsonian Channel is just a channel about things that happen in the Smithsonian. The more important question is, what the hell is Roku? He's the guy who had to die. Who was you, Roku? Voting's over. Count Trump. That's what you should say. Count the vote for Trump. Don't throw that in the trash. That's important. What is JSJE, by the way? I don't watch any of it. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen, whether I watch it or not. I'm not going to stress over it. It's probably the best way to be. Oh, you're right about that. It's going to happen one way or the other. And I'm not per se stressed over it. It's kind of my job to keep up with it, to be informative, to have something to talk about. But plus, I have a vested interest in the future. So I kind of want to know what's happening. But if your future is set, there ain't no real reason to look at it. I also find it mildly interesting, a little bit fascinating. It's kind of like watching that show, House of Cards, before it got all woke. You got one guy who is the president, another guy who's pretending to be the president, and there's a power battle. It's just, you can't get better TV than that. You never clicked on that, didn't really interest you? I can understand that. That's right. I don't think it's set. I think there's a real chance Trump could win, pull it off, because I think if he is prepared for this, if he was smart enough to see it coming, and they prepared for it and have all their little ducks in a row, he'll be able to pull it off. But they're going to do everything in their power to throw him off and to keep him from winning. So he's going to have to, on a level on the other side of chess master, have things in order and be prepared for everything they throw at him. What's been happening in your world, Jake? Not a whole lot. You see it. Just thinking about the next podcast, pretty much. Takes a lot of prep to be able to talk for an hour or two without running out of breath or things to talk about. But and I'm getting better at that. I wish I could fix the lag between your responses and my talking, because it adds a little bit of dead air every time I wait for a reply or something, and I need to fix that. I need to get better at doing that. You said it was an exciting week in politics. It has been an exciting week. It's been all over the place. I'm trying to think. There hasn't been anything really going on except for being up in the air about what I'm going to be doing in the next couple of weeks because of the situation with the building. That's really the only thing prescient happening right now that I can think of. I'm sure if I dug deep, I could find something to be depressed about, but I had the kids all last week. All I watched was cartoons. You're probably more informed than I am then. It depends on what cartoons you were watching. You watching the good stuff or you watching this new garbage they got on TV? I'm a firm believer in Tom and Jerry, and Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, Yosemite Sam, the Flintstones. Oh, it's garbage? Yeah, I'm sure it is. I don't understand. I grew up, they were getting better at those things. Like video games. We had 8-bit graphics when I was a kid. And I always thought they could do better. You know, they should be able to do better. Why we only got 8-bit graphics? Then 40 years later, my kids are into this game called, what is it called? Something, Minecraft. And the characters are literally 8-bit graphics. They're like pixelated. And you go to the store to buy the toy, and the toys are pixelated. And I'm like, what in the hell is this all about? Don't you know we've got 3D graphics now? It's ridiculous. This Ryan kid, they love to watch him. I don't know who that would be. When you said that, I thought about Sid the Science Kid, but that ain't it, I'm sure. Ah, hot coffee. I hear the wind blowing. That must be what's left of that tropical storm that came up from down there. Look him up on YouTube. I might. It's been EwwEwwG. Just a boy and his family doing stuff. I used to let my son watch SpongeBob till it started affecting him mentally, and I had to make him stop watching it because he was starting to act really strange. I mean, it infected him. I banned it from the house. Umizoomi? Yeah, you're just making words up. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the new cartoons, man. It's like they're trying to brainwash your kids. I didn't let them watch Teletubbies. I didn't let them watch SpongeBob or any of that woke cartoon garbage. It was really strange. I can't understand why. What on earth do you see in SpongeBob? It's an annoying square with an intolerable voice. And the jokes are way too mature for kids. I'm telling you. What's Kev up to tonight? How's his mama? Beady diddy beady dee beady doo doo. Yow! Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way. That's a good cup of coffee. I'm glad I made that. Don't you wish you had a big stainless steel cup of coffee? Thank you. I like the flag too. I'm debating on whether or not to mourn its death, though. I kind of like the other one, if you know what I'm saying. Kind of partial. But I do like this one too. I like what it stood for. So he's laying down, and I don't know what's going on. Well, I asked. It's all right. He's done grown up and got too good for me, I see. Can't hang out no more. What? Can't drink coffee anymore. That's crazy. That's just crazy talk. How did that come about? I like the coffee queen. She's confined to a wheelchair. Oh, at night, I see. It just doesn't ever affect me. I don't know what the deal is. Caffeine just doesn't do that for me. If I drink like 3 or 4 pots of coffee, I'll get palpitations, you know. But I got to drink a lot of coffee for that to happen. But as far as staying up, I can drink a pot of coffee and go straight to sleep. It just don't do it for me like that. I don't know why. Everybody I talk to, they talk about it like it's crack rock, you know, like, well, if I drink a sip of coffee, I'll be up all day and all night. I can't see that happening. It can't be that strong. What kind of coffee are you buying? It ain't Folgers. But then again, I'd put a lot of sugar and cream in my coffee, and I'd drink not weak coffee, but kind of in the middle. I don't like strong coffee. I'm a 2 scoop level kind of guy for a whole pot. If I drunk 1 cup in the early afternoon, I can't sleep that night. Wow. That is awesome. You should start doing cocaine. It wouldn't take much at all for you. You could just smell the bag and go flying. You made that statement, and addicts everywhere went, oh, man. Go away, fly. You're bugging me now. I'm a cheap date, yeah. Me too. I do. Alcohol does me like that. I can drink 3 shots of liquor and I'll throw up if I drink them close together. I don't know why. I just can't tolerate alcohol. I tried to drink when I was a kid and not like to kill myself. Got alcohol poisoning twice. And one time I had to go to the hospital and get pumped full of green shit to get my liver working again. I don't know what this stuff was, but they made me drink a bunch of it, like a gallon of it. It was green and thick, whatever it was. Apparently, it restarted my liver or something because my liver shut down. I was turning jaundice and shit. I remember them days. He wants a sip of my sugar? Yeah. Yeah, for this cup, I put 6 spoons of sugar in it. Small spoons, but 6 of them. And then 2 spoons of creamer and about that much water and fill it the rest of the way up. I put the water in it so it ain't too hot to drink. And it's still pretty hot. My coffee pot makes hot coffee. The way I like it. I like my coffee like I like my women. Covered in stainless steel and too hot to put to my lips. That's about right. If you picture two scoops of sugar per cup, which is about what I would drink, and this is about 3 cups of coffee, 2.5. It's about right. Maybe a little sweet, but you know, I could probably cut back to 5 or 4, but why? Watching The Green Mile. That's a good movie. Very good movie. Spoiler alert, he's innocent. Nah, now you can watch me. You put the spoons in the cup. You put the spoons in a cup. You put 2 spoons in a cup? Is that what you're trying to say? It is a good movie. 3 spoons. Okay. I usually, if it's one of those tall cups, I'll put 2.5. But if it's a regular cup, like one of those little Waffle House cups, just 2 is fine. But I like the tall cups, you know. It's like a cup and a half of coffee, maybe 2 cups. The kind that you can put your whole hand in the handle. I like those. Can't see too good. You have to read between the lines. I know. I'm not calling you out on your spelling. Now I got 2 flies in here. I'm gonna get a fly swatter or a machine gun. Go away. Wow. Thank you. I appreciate the confidence. What are you saying? I'm good at reading between the lines, or I'm good at calling people out on their spelling? Which way are you going with that compliment? Probably both, huh? Oh, I know. I was just teasing you. You guys are fun. It's easy teasing. figured out what we were saying. Yeah, I have to because I'm literally talking to you on a delay. So by the time I've said something, you've answered, and then I'm on to something else, and then I have to go back, flip back through my mind to figure out what we were talking about, to figure out what you're talking about to respond to. It gets complicated sometimes if there's a lot of people talking, but if it's just a couple people, I can pretty much keep up. Oh yeah, you know how it is. I'm distinguished, like any good detective would be. So, how did you guys like Monday? I didn't get a chance to get a lot of feedback on that. The first book of Mark, the first part of the book of Mark, Sherlock. Yeah. Actually, believe it or not, he and I share a lot of qualities. Him being fictitious and all. It's kind of astounding to me that I'm so comparable to a guy that isn't real. We even have a lot of the same hobbies, and I didn't know that till I read the Sherlock Holmes books recently in the last 10 years. I was astonished. Like, I like to pick locks in my spare time. I didn't know he did that too. It's a good hobby. So you loved it, huh? It was kind of fun. It's a lot more enjoyable than the book of Matthew was so far. Seems to move faster. Sometimes the Bible gets kind of bog you down with details and humdrum, but sometimes it's exciting. I understand a lot more hearing it than reading it, and you read and explain, which helps understand a lot more. I appreciate that. I'm doing my level best. I'm trying to I'm trying to put it in a way, and I thought about doing going deep, referring back, the Bible quotes a lot, and you have to know where all the chapters and verses are that refer to the other chapters and verses. And I thought about doing all that and using graphs and pictures and, you know, getting real deep and proving my point and all that stuff. Like if I tell you something's there and I can prove it's there by showing you a picture of it and the Bible says it's there. But then I thought, well, everybody does that. And people get bored real fast and they don't always want to go down that deep of a rabbit hole. So I'll just establish up front that I know what I'm talking about by talking, and then I'll just read it and try to make it do it in a way that anybody can understand it. Simple language, no complicated. You know, you can always go deeper. I mean, there's things that I'll explain to you that have more than one meaning. It may have a deeper meaning underneath the simple meaning, but you don't need to get there. You just need to understand what it says first. Then you can go back and go deeper. I think that's probably a smarter way to go about doing it, in my mind, anyway. Yeah, I'm trying to make it that way. I'm trying to illustrate it like as if you were explaining something you saw at the supermarket. There's real people involved. There are real events that happen, and they live like every other real person does. They have the same kind of motivations and feelings and things like that. So that's how I'm kind of going about it. And then maybe after we get through it and it's understood this is what the Bible says, then maybe we can go back and go deep. And then maybe the people that are listening will be more interested in the deeper meanings. But if they don't know the surface meanings, they're certainly not going to want to hear the deeper stuff. I think anyway, and I might be wrong about that, but Plus, it's a lot less work on my part than have to put all that together. But the fact that you can actually picture it while I'm talking about it, that's good. I was kind of afraid of my inability to read messing it up because I'm not a very good out loud reader. I know it sounds like I am, but I'm right on the razor's edge of not being able to do it. I mean, I have to concentrate really hard to do that and not mess up. And I still mess up, especially on some of those words that they use that no man should ever have to try to pronounce. But I guess my main goal is to make it understandable for people who don't care too much about getting real deep. You know, they just want to hear what it says and understand it and not be all confused after reading it. Sorry, I'm eating and falling asleep. I don't think eating and sleeping go together, April. You might want to sit up and finish eating. Well, you'll get better at reading the more you do it. I think so. And I think you're doing fine so far. I appreciate it. Um, the one way that I'm able to do it without messing up is to be a little bit monotone. I need to get more excitement in my voice and be more passionate about it, illustrate it more with emotions. But it's hard to think about it. I got to think ahead and get all that in my mind before I say the words so that I can act it out appropriately. I'm getting there though. I think after I go through a few books, I'll have the language in my mouth well enough that I can do it without tripping over the words. But ultimately, it's the understanding that matters, not how well I read it. Connor is wide awake, mama. Rutro. Lordy lordy, go on, fly. I think they're attracted to my monitor and all the bright lights. They must be coming in from the new windows. They installed new windows, but they just did it temporary. So there's big gaping holes all the way around the windows. Fun, fun. That's right. Put some SpongeBob on. He won't move a muscle. He might not be your kid when you wake up, but he won't move a muscle. Mm-mm. No air yet. I'm still in the process of trying to get out of here. I think what's going to happen, I think they're going to condemn the building and then somebody's going to buy it on the cheap and refurbish it and then offer it back to Missy, maybe. We don't really know yet. But basically, I was already told to leave, and I'm just staying here out of stubbornness at the moment. Yeah, it does kind of suck, and it came up sudden, too. It wasn't like we were expecting it. So I'm not prepared, as usual. And I've got a few things lined up in the next couple months. I'm trying to save up and get my lights and all cut back on and just move back to my house and be done with it. The only reason I'm here in the first place is for convenience, but uh, I hope she don't lose it too. But it looks like she might. There's a couple of people interested in buying it, but they're not going to buy it for the price the dude wants it for, so they're probably going to wait till they condemn it before they try to buy it. Had they just left it alone, though, it wouldn't have been a problem, but they just had to get in there and start messing with it. But I got a show coming up this weekend that'll give me a little bit of money, and I got a few other things lined up in the next couple of weeks after that. So if I can just hold out until then, I'll be fine. And I can always go sleep on Missy's couch if I have to. If he slept, he's going to be awake until at least midnight. Woo! That's not good. Give him a shot of bourbon. That'll take care of it. I'm kidding. Don't do that. That would be bad news. And December 1st, I should get my contacts and I'll be able to stop wearing glasses. So that'll be cool. If I can handle having the contacts in my eyes, that remains to be seen. That's why you need melatonin. Pretty smart. Listen to Mama. She knows what she's talking about. See, they didn't have melatonin when I was a kid. My mama used a hammer. See that flat spot right there? Pa-ting! How much do you need to get back in the house, or is it something you want to do? Oh, it's something I want to do, but it's just a matter of doing it, and I'm not asking for help. You know, that's more than anybody's responsible for. It's just my own little thing. I got to get the electricity and the water cut back on, and I've got to rent a steamer because I haven't been there in a year, and I got to clean the mildew off of everything. And at some point, I got to get the internet cut on so I can continue working. I never used it either, but I discovered it with the great grandbabies. Yeah, that melatonin's some good stuff. Put you right out. My problem with using sleep aids, like even the good stuff like Ambien, I can take 2 of them and it'll knock me right out, but I'll sleep for 15 minutes and then I'll be wide awake and zombified the rest of the time. I can't sleep very long. It's like it works all at once on me. It doesn't time release or something. I don't know. My body just don't like that relaxing stuff. It is horrible. It make you do crazy things too. Shoe fly. Gonna make me knock my monitor over. Go away. Yeah. Does it make you mean? That don't surprise me. I tried that uh Prozac one time. I got on that for about 2 weeks, and it made me indifferent. Like I didn't care about anything. I could have killed somebody and it wouldn't have bothered me. Not even a little bit. My mama said she was scared of me. And I said, well, that's got to go. They call it the devil's drug. I can see why. And it's not good. It's not good for your brain. You're not supposed to be numb to empathy. If you can't feel empathy, then it doesn't register as wrong to you if you do something bad. It's just something else to do. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Everything's even. There's no highs, there's no lows. It's just, you're just there. You could watch a baby being born or you could watch somebody being murdered. It wouldn't make a bit of difference. Either way. I heard that Ambien will make you sleepwalk, make you go out and drive your car and stuff and not even know you're doing it. Among other things. Either way, I don't want none of it. I don't even like taking aspirin. I wouldn't take what I take if I didn't have to. I did that once. Wasn't taking anything. What, sleepwalking? I don't. My sister says I did when I was a little boy, but I don't recall it. Obviously, I was asleep. But I don't think I've done that as an adult. That's got to be scary. I did work a triple shift one time when I was a security guard. I worked 3 12-hour shifts back to back. And as I was leaving, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, still dark outside. I remember getting in my car and I was driving a big old Delta 88 with no brakes on it. The only brakes it had was an emergency brake. And I remember getting in the car and cranking it up. And I remember waking up in my driveway, and I was in Zebulon at the time. So that's a good 80 miles from my house, 60 or 80 miles, that I have no knowledge of driving. I don't know who I killed or how many houses I ran through or red lights I ran through. All I know is I parked in my driveway all right, and the car was still running when I woke up. Yes, it's wild, and worked for a neurologist. So I learned about it. I worked for a neurologist and I learned about it. Among others, I agree. Don't like taking medicine. It's not good for you. Just got in my car and drove across town and woke up when I got there. Yeah, that's terrifying, isn't it? I don't think I've ever done that, but that sleep driving from that job was scary. But that's the only time I'm aware of that I've done that. I've zoned out a few times while I was driving and come back to my senses and didn't know where I was at. I've done that before. Just get lost in thought and go on autopilot. Be driving across town, don't even know where I'm at, don't know where I'm going. Realize I hadn't looked at the road in like 10 minutes. April said, when did that happen, Mama? Well, you need to be careful in that car. Them things will kill you. Let me see if we got any people hiding. Nope, it's just us. Says there's 3 of us, but I only see 2 of us. Somebody's watching and not talking. I woke up or thought I was awake. I thought my kids were at their dad's, so I went there to get them and woke up in his driveway. Yeah, it's terrifying. Sometimes you just get too tired and your body revolts. That's your body's way of saying, you keep this pain shit up, I'm gonna hurt you. It reminds me of a Robin Williams joke. He said, I had this dream where I was doing cocaine in my sleep and I couldn't fall asleep, and I was doing cocaine in my sleep and I couldn't fall asleep, and I was doing cocaine in my sleep and I couldn't fall asleep, and I woke up and I was doing cocaine. At 4 in the morning, I went home and they were in bed asleep. Wow. That's trippy. Closest I've ever come to that is waking up on the wrong side of the bed and thinking I'm at somebody else's house. You ever done that? Wake up and not recognize the room because you're on the wrong side or upside down in the bed? Yeah, burning the candle at both ends. Yep. I used to do that. I can't do that anymore. I gotta take a nap. I'm getting old. I used to set up a show by myself, play the whole show, and then tear the whole show down, and then drive back home. Now I gotta set up the show, take a nap, do the show, take a nap. Take a nap while I'm driving home. And you never did drugs or drank much? You drank a little more than you think you did. I remember those days. You wasn't a lush, but you drank. My mom used to drink a lot too. They'd go out. She called it social drinking, but they went out every night for like probably 4 or 5 years. That was back in the heyday when they were dressing up as pimps and hookers and stuff. Fall asleep on the toilet sometimes. Yeah, I've done that before. I fall asleep right here at the computer quite often. Wake up with my face on the keyboard. I've only been drunk 3 times in my life. Well, there's different levels of drunk. I know you never drank a lot. I'm not saying you were an alcoholic or anything. I just remember when you would go out and drink. Go out dancing. Yeah, sip on them all night. Oh, I know. Dancing's hard work. I wonder why people don't do that anymore. Go out dancing. I miss the 80s so much. It just seems like the world was ripe for being sociable in those days. People ain't like that anymore. They don't even dress up when they go out. Are we still talking about drinks? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. I remember back in the day, you'd work up the courage and ask a girl to dance. You'd go to the bar dressed in your best clothes. It just ain't like that no more. Can't find a live band anymore. They've torn down all the bars, only sports bars now. I know it seems that way. There's not a lot of live bands at the moment because of the COVID, but before that, we were doing all right. But it's slowly been getting worse over the years. The more and more laws get placed where people are getting scared to go out because they're scared they won't make it home without getting put in jail. And cover charges, and they got to where they hardly pay bands anything anymore. When I first started playing music, they'd book a band for a whole month. You'd be there four days in a row, 2 weekends. Look forward to Friday and Saturday night. And that's weird too, because Florida's a pretty popular place for partying. That's like the Sunshine State. You should be partying all the time there, but they just ain't doing it no more. More trouble than it's worth. The DJ just about destroyed my industry and the karaoke. They tore down JR's, Candlelight, and Sterling's. Wow. There just ain't nothing sacred no more, huh? No bands in Lakeland, maybe a few, but Lakeland is now a ghost town. Seriously, wow. I can't picture that. Lakeland's always been bustling. It's hard to picture it being a ghost town. Wonder why. You used to could find something to do all hours of the day and night in Lakeland. All the good ones. Well, it's a ghost town for live bands, I see. I guess my industry is just going to come to a crashing halt, especially if Biden gets in. There ain't going to be no extra money to play with. It's a good thing I have a fallback. That's what you get for sticking to your guns, I guess. Maybe I should have been a sellout and got a real job. Yeah, there's a lot of that, being afraid to go to jail. I know that's right. Shoot, I get pulled over almost every time I play out somewhere because I'm leaving a bar at 4 o'clock in the morning. They have one place here that does have a band sometimes, Boots and Buckles, but it's all kids. Yeah. I think it's always been all kids. I think those are the people that go out and party. I think we were kids when we went out and partied. They've got a saying in the music business that if you haven't made it by the age of 25, you're not going to make it. That's probably true. And being true, that sucks because I'm 25 a couple of times. So I really ain't going to make it. I actually kind of gave up on that a long time ago. I don't play music because I think I'm going to make it. I just do it because I don't know how to do anything else. Spent my whole life learning how to do it. Nowhere to sit. They just stand and walk around. Yeah. There's a couple of bars here like that. Place called the Lincoln Room up in Raleigh. They don't even have chairs. They pack the place out, but you have to stand all night long. I ain't trying to do all that. I say bring some tables in, let some folks sit down. Jesus. What you mean this weekend? A private party? If you mean from now on, I have no idea. I doubt I'll ever play again in any detail for any length of time. Yes, you did. I'm proud of you. What are you proud of me for? I missed something. Mm-hmm. Well, it's a three-piece. It's not a whole band. It's just me and a drummer and a bass player. But it should be fun. It's kind of early, though. They're starting early, like before dark. I don't know if I can even get into that. I come in with stories of wild nights and naked women and drugs and partying, and they're like, we got to stop by 11 o'clock. What are you talking about? I'm a washed up fuddy duddy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did learn how to play some instruments. Probably should have learned how to get a job. I thought that I was going to be one of those guys that were always on the road till I died. And it probably could have been if things hadn't changed in the ways that they did. You do play the keyboard, the guitar, and I'm sure the bass and drums. Yes, I play everything. The only instruments I don't play are the exotic ones. And I could probably make some noise on them. And I don't play horns. I do know how to play a saxophone a little bit, but uh, I don't play any reed instruments or anything like that. Trumpets or anything. I did learn how to play a saxophone when I was in college. well enough that I can play a couple songs on it anyway. But I play bass, drums, guitar, keyboard, mandolin, banjo, fiddle, uh, all manner of percussion instruments. You know, like congas and bongos and djembes and all that good stuff. And I play a pretty mean handsaw too. And I'm on par with the best whistler in the world. I only know that because I watched a competition where they named him the best whistler in the world, and I was like, I can do that. So apparently he ain't as good as I am. Oh, the sax, it's not really that hard. What's hard is learning how to blow, but once you get that down, the chords aren't hard at all. But you gotta form your mouth in a certain way to make that reed work. But now I'm an overqualified engineer, musician, sound man, lighting, stagecraft with experience in video editing and audio editing that has nowhere to work, so I made my own job. The tambourine rocks. Yeah, I can do that too pretty good. I can play a triangle too. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. And what's that thing? Ba-dang-diddy-dang-diddy-dang-diddy-dang-diddy-dang-diddy-dang-diddy-dang. I can do that too. You can play the radio. Oh yeah, the maracas. I actually have a set of maracas around here somewhere. They might be at the house. I don't know. I can't remember. You're shaking the maracas. Gotta love that music though. She's been a fickle mistress. Yeah, you can play the radio. I can play a mean radio. Play a tape deck and a record player. You can play checkers. Well, I guess it's about time to do this thing. Please like, subscribe, and share, and hit the notification bell so you can get notifications because subscriptions don't mean a whole lot these days. Follow the links in the description below. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking about. Press that like button and share this with your friends or your enemies. Hey, you can share it with your enemies and get points. If you'd like to support what I'm doing, go to paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps, and I sure do appreciate your patronage. All right. My dad used to whistle real good. Yeah, he did, and he played harmonica too, didn't he? Or are you talking about? You're talking about Marvin, right? Yepers, I know I follow Kenny Chesney every day, LOL, and Jake Love. You got to. Follow what you love. Yeah, he played the harmonica pretty good, too. He actually astonished me one time. I didn't realize he knew how to play. He was pretty good at it. I didn't find that out, though, till he was so old he could hardly blow. I could tell he knew what he was doing, but he didn't have the wind to do it, so I never could get him to come play with me. If I'd have known it earlier, I'd have done it earlier, but I didn't know. He never talked about it. We were just out in the barn one time, and there happened to be a harmonica sitting there, and he picked it up and started blowing on it, and I was like, holy shit. Why didn't you ever tell me that? I'd have had you on stage. When I was carrying him around to all my shows, everybody loved Grandpa. He was like my mascot for a while. I even got him in a magazine or two. They'd come take pictures of the band, and they'd take pictures of him because they thought he was my mascot. And I didn't correct them. Yep. I still got them around here somewhere. I keep all that kind of stuff. Magazines and clippings of newspapers and stuff like that. Or rather, my mom kept all that stuff, but now I have them, so. And thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures. Lots and lots of pictures. And lots of videos that I can't watch because I don't have a high 8 player. Yeah, he came to a lot of them. For a while there, for probably about 5 years, he went to every show I had. Hey, did y'all hear about Alex Trebek dying? That's yet another one gone. Pretty soon we won't have no past left. Everybody will be dead. You didn't know he went to my shows? Oh, it's a camcorder with certain type of tape called high 8. So the little thin tapes. The camcorder that we had finally died, outlived its usefulness. So now I got a bunch of tapes I can't play. I could probably find one on eBay or something and buy it. Well, now you know. I enjoyed bringing him. Gave him something to do, got him out of the house. You should take them someplace and have them put on CD. I can do that if I just have to get a player. You're going to bed. Well, all right then. I love you. I think I'm going to hit the sack pretty soon myself. It's almost 10 o'clock. You might as well call it. I love you guys, true, from the bottom of my heart, from me to you. Did I get Connor to slow? That wasn't for me. I will see you guys Friday. I hope you have a wonderful night. God bless you and love you from the bottom of my heart. Don't forget to do the things, peoples, when you watch the video. Press the buttons. Press the buttons. Press the buttons. Press the buttons. I love you guys, and I'll see you Friday. Peace out.